All right, so we're recording so that those kiddos who aren't home or anybody needs any help. All right, so we're opening up the Module 9 Lesson 1 course arc in the Module 9 Lesson 1 notebook. So the objective, since we're starting the fundamentals of economics. So by the time we're done with this, you will be able to explain why scarcity and choice of economics can be found in every society. You'll be able to summarize how entrepreneurs foster growth. You'll be able to describe the 3 economic factors of production and the differences between physical and human capital. And you'll be able to explain how scarcity affects the production of all goods and services. So we're going to explain how changes in supply and demand cause changes in goods and services. Guys, we know this, right? Having gone through the pandemic, we're still seeing all those issues today, right? Supply chain. We're going to evaluate the effectiveness of government policies to improve outcomes. We're going to identify economic factors and use them to analyze current and future economies and explain the influence of changes. Okay, so hopefully everybody has their notebook open because we're going to go obviously into the introduction and your essential question. So you have so many different ways you can spend your money. You want the new video game, or maybe you want to upgrade to the newest smartphone. But at the same time, you got to pay for your car insurance and you have limited funds. So what are you going to choose? Because you can't have it all. What's true for you is also true for your neighbors, your school, the gas station down the road, a major television network, or US Congress. That's what economics is all about. Remember, we watched that intro to econ video yesterday. Economics is a study of how individuals, businesses, and governments make choices when faced with a limited supply of resources. Understanding where your money comes from and what it pays for can help you determine whether the government is working for your best interest. So the first question on every single notebook is the essential question. So you highlight this and you push Control-C, copy. And then we come to our notebook. And in question 1, we put Control-V, paste. Okay. So you're going to copy the essential question and then paste it into question number 1 in your notebook. And I've also added it to the chat to help some of you guys out. All right. Simple and easy, right? When we're looking at our rubric, always question number 1, the essential question is written fully. Well, if we copy and paste it, of course it's written fully. Number 2, the vocabulary. All 5 words are there with self-created definition from the context clues, which means the words with the context clues are in the left-hand column. Your self-created definitions, not Google, are in the right-hand column. So let's go to the vocabulary page in the course arc. All right. So, I mean, obviously, economics, there's so many words that we can use to describe it, right? So we're going to look at some of the context clues, some of the academic vocabulary for some of the, the words we're really definitely going to be using in this particular lesson. So the first word is services. The actions or activities that one person performs for another. Economics, right? The study of how people seek to satisfy their needs and wants by making choices. An entrepreneur, a person who decides how to combine resources to create goods and services. Every time I see the word entrepreneur, I think of the show Shark Tank, where people are coming up with these new goods or services and they're trying to get investors to help them get it out there into the market. That's my thought every time I see the word entrepreneur. Factors of production, and those are the resources that are used to make goods and services. Physical capital, the human-made objects used to create other goods and services. Human capital, the knowledge and skills a worker gains through education and experience. a trade-off, the act of giving up one benefit in order to gain another greater benefit. Opportunity cost, the most desirable alternative given up as a result of the decision. Cost-benefit analysis, the decision-making process in which you compare what you will sacrifice and gain by a specific action. And finally, marginal cost, the extra cost of adding 1 unit. Okay, marginal meaning little bitty, right, on the margin. So let's come down here to our vocabulary matching. Now, obviously, when we do our review, this part of the matching is not going to be in the Kahoot, but it's something you need to pay attention to because it could show up in your Module 8 assessment, right? All right, so who can tell me the resources that are used to make goods and services? Can anybody tell me? I need somebody to give me an answer. Factors of production. Good. Thank you, too. You guys hit it right at the same time. All right, human-made objects used to create other goods and services. Physical capital. Good. There we go. All right, the most desirable alternative given up as a result of the decision. That's your opportunity cost, right? Good. The extra cost of adding 1 unit, marginal cost. And then, of course, the actions or activities that one person performs for another, that would be services. All right, does everybody have this? Okay, so now remember, this is where we take these right here, and we've got the context or academic vocabulary with the words, right? So highlight that and then Control C for copy. And we come over to the notebook and it's just, we highlight in here and we make that Control V paste, right? And then on the right-hand side, the definition that we came up with, right? Not one that Google gave us. Not one straight out of the course arc, ours, right? Self-made. So we have factors of production, right? And those are resources used to make goods, right? I'm putting these in the chat, guys. The human-made objects used to create goods and services, those are physical capital, right? So another definition would be items used to create other goods. That could be anything from like machinery. It could be like buildings, anything needed to help make other goods, right? The most desirable alternative given up as a result of the decision. So the opportunity cost would be what it costs to give up one thing for another. You know, studying versus going out, or studying and giving up playing video games. You're studying because you want to increase your grade. The desirable thing you're giving up is playing video games, right? That would be the opportunity cost. Extra cost of adding 1 unit. So it costs very little to add 1 extra unit. It's marginal. I always think of marginal as little bitty, itty, teeny, weeny. Okay? And finally, the actions or activities of one person performs for another. Your services is actions to help another person. When you guys have this completed in your notebook, please give me a thumbs up reaction to let me know that you have completed it. Okay, Madeline has, Yamura has, Aiden has. Okay, I've got 3 of you. Leonardo's got his done. Good. Maggie's got hers done. Okay. Okay, Gavin's got his done. Cameron's got his done. Good. All right. So I'm not seeing a whole lot more thumbs up, but we do need to move on to the next page. Okay, Jalen's got his. All right, so let's look at the rubric for questions 3, 4, and 5. And the reason why we're looking at them together is they all come from the same course arc page called scarcity. So question number 3, what are 2 examples of goods and 2 examples of services? So you've given 2 and 2 to get your full marks. For question 4, what is an example of the kinds of choices that a business would have to make because of scarcity? You've got to have 4 to 5 sentences to get your full marks there. And question number 5, needs, wants, and resources. There's a chart you're going to fill out and that you've completely filled it out correctly to get your full marks there. Okay. So we are going to go to scarcity in the course arc. All right. So we're going to pretend like we're back in school. Miss Rather's going to do some reading, right? So scarcity forces us to make changes by making us decide which options are most important to us. The study of economics begins with the fact that people cannot have everything they need and want. I know, shock, gasp, right? A need is something essential for survival, like food, water, housing, health, medical care, healthcare, whatever you want to call it, right? A want is something that we desire, but it's not necessary for survival, like video games or stylish haircuts or the latest name brand purse, right? People satisfy their needs and wants with goods and services. Goods are physical objects that somebody produces, such as food, clothing, or video game. Services are actions or activity that one person performs for another, like medical care and haircuts. People's needs and wants are unlimited. Let me repeat that. People's needs and wants are unlimited. Once one need or want is satisfied, we don't just stop. We don't go, okay, I got food today. I don't need any more food ever again. No, we're always going to want or need more. That's what we mean by unlimited. When one want is satisfied, others arise. After eating lunch, you may want to go to a movie or buy some clothes. Goods and services, though, are limited. Okay? No one can have an endless supply of anything. Sooner or later, a limit is always reached. The fact that limited amounts of goods and services are available to meet unlimited wants is called scarcity. At many different levels, scarcity forces people to make choices. For example, you have to decide how to spend your time. If you decide to study for a test, you cannot go to the mall or do volunteer work at the same time. A store might have to choose between hiring 10 new workers or paying for more advertising to attract new customers. A city council debates using its money to fix a school or to hire more firefighters. Economics is a study of how people seek to satisfy their needs and wants by making choices. Because people act individually, as groups, like as businesses, or through governments. Economists study all 3 of these areas for economic decision making. Hi, Bridget. We are working on Module 9, Lesson 1. We've already done questions 1 and 2 in the notebook, and then we are moving on to questions 3 and 4 now. And we're also recording this, so that'll be in our lessons, okay? Scarcity does not mean shortage. scarcity is not the same thing as shortage. A shortage occurs when consumers want more of a good or service than producers are willing to make at a particular price. So, you know, fans of a singer want $25 seats, but performers and promoters are not willing to provide that many cheap seats, right? That would be a shortage, and it can be temporary or long term. Unlike shortages, scarcity always exists, and a problem is faced by all societies. There simply are not enough goods and services to supply all of society's needs and wants. Each of that singer's fans not only wants to go to the concert, but they also want to download the songs. They want to have dinner. They want to buy a new top. They want to purchase other goods and services. Scarcity is unavoidable because the resources that go into making goods and services are themselves scarce. We're going to stop with the reading there, and we're going to move into the notes. But the first thing, or the notebook, the first thing I want you guys to tell me, give me some examples of goods that are not on this, not in our coursework. What are some other goods, guys? Can you give me some other goods? Clothes, absolutely. What else? What's in front of you? Electronics, like a laptop or a computer, a TV. How about, you know, everybody's favorite, cell phones? What else? Anybody think of any other goods? Your bed, absolutely, right? Dressers. Shoes, spices, food, right? Okay, so those are all goods, right? What are some services? Remember, services are actions that people they do to help others, right? So what are some services now? Like a car wash, good. Restaurants, absolutely. What about me? What, am I offering you guys a service? Right? So teachers, education. Maybe dentists. Yes, Gavin?
I'm not sure if this is still around, like if it's still like prominent, but shoe polishers.
Actually, they have them in airports. But yeah, that would be a service. Absolutely.
Oh, they still have them around?
Uh-huh. Yep. Okay, so question number 3 in our notebook is you've got to give 2 goods and 2 services, and you can't use what was in the course arc, which is why I just had you guys generate a list. So now everybody needs to type into their notebook 2 goods and 2 services. And you can use the ones I have here, use the ones that are in our chat. But let's take a minute and get that put in your notebook. All right. Are we good? Give me a thumbs up if we're good now. If you've got those down so we can move on to question 4. See, Jennifer and Aiden are good. Alejandra, Cameron, Leonardo, good. Jim Morris, good. All right. Jalen, Maggie, all right. So we're doing good here. All right. So let's go into question number 4. Hi, Janae. So what is an example are the kinds of choices that a business would have to make because of scarcity. And you need to give 4 to 5 sentences, remember? So I came up with a few, right? One choice might have to be substituting one ingredient for another due to scarcity of that item. And that could be an ingredient in food. It could be something that you're making and you have to use a different type of mineral or something else to create it, right? Maybe a business would have to hire workers that have less experience and need to train them because there are not enough workers with the training that they want. Maybe a restaurant would have to remove items off their menu because either the main ingredient or a key ingredient is no longer available. Businesses might even need to fire employees because they can no longer make what they used to make and no longer need the employees. These are all about choices because of scarcity that businesses might have to make, right? And you can use the examples like some of the ones that they give you in the course arc. You can use the examples that I've given you guys. Maybe you've already come up with your own example, something already like kind of tickled your fancy and you thought, oh, no, I know exactly what I want to do, right? Give you guys a moment to make sure you get that completed. All right, how about do the clapping hands emoji reaction or whatever when you guys have finished this question. Okay, Alejandra has hers done. Gavin does. Aiden. Okay, I've seen like 4 or 5 of you. Yeah. Cameron, yes. Gavin. Jennifer. Jalen. All right. I don't know. Did I see Angel? Did you clap your hands? Sierra does. How about you, Key Antonia or Bridget? Shiloh, yep. Key Antonia's got it. Good. Maggie has. Candy, how are you doing? The golf clap. Ricky has. Okay, good. Tiana's got hers. Good. Okay, Janae, no problem. All right, I'm just going to move this up just a hair because the last part of it, question number 5, is summarize, right? Use this chart to summarize the reading. So needs and wants and then resources. The first part of this chart is a definition, right? What is a definition of a need, a definition of a want, and a definition of a resource? So a definition of a need are those items that you must have to survive. A definition of a want are those items that you would like to have to make your life easier or more pleasurable. Definition of resource are those items that make up what people need and want. Right? Exactly, Gavin. Those would be a want. Or that, $700 Coach purse I've had my eye on that I will never buy. But I can look at it and think it's pretty. All right, so here's our definition for needs and wants. And then the second part of this is a definition for resources, right? That's our first first row. So then it asks for examples. What are some examples of needs and wants? Well, food and water would be an example of needs. The latest cell phone is an example of a want, right? You can get those little cheap flip phones and they work for exactly what you need them to. You don't need the latest, Samsung or Apple 2957, right? Examples of resources for needs and wants: food, milk, water, cell phones, name brand shoes. So examples of needs and wants. Examples of those resources that would make up those needs and wants. And then the last part of this chart is, are they limited or unlimited? And remember, in the reading, needs and wants are unlimited. Just because you satisfy one doesn't mean you're never going to need or want anything ever again, right? So needs and wants, those are unlimited. But resources, on the other hand, are limited. And that is why we have scarcity, right? Because we have unlimited needs and wants with a limited amount of resources. And that's what causes scarcity. All right. Give me the, I don't know what you call it. To me, it looks like a party hat that's shooting stuff out of it. Yes, that thing.
Confetti.
Confetti. I can never think of the word. All right. Give me the confetti when you have your thing done. Thank you, Gavin. All right. I see some kiddos. Yep. I need the rest of you to let me know you have your chart done. I actually went past question number 4 into question number 5. And then, all right, so if you remember, let's go back to our agenda for today. We also need to do the Module 8 assessment Kahoot game. So I'm going to have you guys sign up for that. Let me get it open. Give me just a moment. Obviously, I'm not going to have every question available. I can only do so many. And I cannot do the, the drop-down menu ones that we have. So, vocab and those types of things are definitely going to be something you need to look at. We have our lesson reviews in the lesson and recording pages. Remember, lesson 1, lesson 2, the review sheets are in there. Plus, they'll be on your announcement tomorrow as well. They were on Tuesday's announcement. All right, so you guys need to go to kahoot.it.
I was wondering what that noise was.
And then, if you look at your screen, it's projected. Kahoot.it and put in 4542720. Jennifer's in. It's got to be something that I at least know who it is and school appropriate. Aiden, please. So we have Jalen, Sierra, Tiana, Jennifer, Madeline. So I've got 5 of you up here, and I need 20 more of you. Come on, there's Aiden. There's Shiloh. There's Janae. There's Cameron. Good. I need some more of you in here, please. Like the nose and mustache there, Aiden. All right, Gavin. Jennifer's back. Maggie's in there. Joe's in there. Good. All right, there's 11 of you in here, and there needs to be 23 of you in here. Come on, guys. Michaela, Key, Bridget, Candy, Angel. Come on, guys. Damien, pop in here. Leonardo's in here. Good. Where's Liam and Tegan? Where's Ricky? Oh, I see her left. Where are you, Tiana? Are you in here? There you are. There's Tegan. What about Zadie? Where's Zadie? Your judge monkey. There's Ricky. There we go. It's loading slow. Okay, we'll give it another like 30 seconds or so. A little bit longer here. All right, so for those of you that it's slow loading, jump in as soon as it pops open for you. It'll have the game pin at the bottom, okay? All right, so let's get started because we got 18 questions to get through. According to the UK, the final say to what the government can do or change to a law is made by who makes these changes in the United Kingdom? Parliament. Remember the monarchy, the queen of, well, actually now the king of England, is more figurehead, right? The judiciary doesn't actually change any laws, and the prime minister actually comes from parliament, so kind of it is part of parliament, right? All right, let's see where we're at. Maggie's in the lead. Aiden's right behind her. All right. Chamber of Deputies serve 3-year terms and our mixed system of direct vote and proportional representation. That's what happens when you have multiple parties, right? Where are we at? Maggie's still in the lead. Ooh, Madeline jumped up there. Look at that. Okay. The country of Iran is run by All right, so most of you guys got the Wali Faik, which is obviously the Ayatollah. This is one of those questions on your test where there will be two answers that are correct. Remember, there's also a president. The president can be removed by the Ayatollah, but the president is chosen by the people, right? So hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. There's two correct answers, but I can't do two on the Kahoot game. Okay. Maggie is still in the lead. What country's government is the same type as that of the United States? So looking at that chart. Oh, so a few of you guys, Australia has a parliamentary democracy. Remember, we don't have parliament. We don't have a prime minister. Austria was the closest one, federal republic. Maggie's still in the lead. Madeline's moved up. Look at Janae up 4 places. Parliament and Congress are similar government structures, and that only one is correct. Remember, it's bicameral. The people do not elect those in the House of Lords and Parliament. Maggie's still in the lead. Form of government in which God or deity is recognized as the supreme civil leader. Theocracy. Think Iran, right? Maggie's still in the lead. China's government is run by the... Give you a hint. 3 of these belong to the 4th one that runs it all. It's the state council, guys. All of those actually answer to the state council. Okay, Maggie's still in the lead. Most governments around the world are. There's actually 2 correct answers. Parliamentary and unitary. Okay. I know it's a hard one to think of, but they're either one or the other, guys. Okay. Halfway through, after Mexico declared its independence, it became a... Federal Republic. Good. Most of you guys remembered that. Arguments against the United States being involved in peacekeeping missions around the world include 3 of these. Like, why don't they want us to be involved in it? So it makes us be the policeman of the world. It's a drain on our resources, and it involves risking us getting involved in a foreign war. Good. Okay. Oh, Maggie's still in the lead. Person considered to be important because of the high rank of office. This one gets everyone. It's tricky. Dignitary. That was the tricky one. Remember that. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Woo, Aiden jumped to the top. Select the possible reasons the U.S. gives foreign aid. There's multiple answers. All of the above. This is a hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. All the reasons why we would give other countries money. Aiden's still in the top. What are the reasons why the U.S. maintains military bases around the world? Multiple ones. So, shift to international stance after World War II. Having a strong military presence discourages others, and then collective security, right? Aiden's still in the lead. A permanent diplomatic mission headed by an ambassador. What do we call that place? Good, an embassy. It's actually considered the sovereign territory of that country within the grounds of an embassy. Oh, Madeline jumped ahead. Look at that. Aiden's still in the lead. Armed forces are under the control of. Department of Defense. Good. It was once called the Department of War, but then it became known as the Department of Defense really quickly after. Good. Aiden's still on fire. Madeline's popping up behind. Three more questions. Nations' relationships with other nations. What do we call that? There we go. Foreign affairs. Easy peasy, right? Aiden's still in the lead. Okay, 2 more questions. Example of cooperation between 2 countries. So, bordering countries forming an investigatory committee, right? They're working together. That's cooperation. Oh, Aiden's still in the lead. Oh, we're on our last question. The U.S. remains a superpower among nations. It only represents what percentage of the world's population? All right, so we are at our final one, and it's 4%. I know, 14%, a little bit closer. You at least got the 4 part of it right, right? All right, let's see. Where are we at? Leonardo was at number 3. Madeline was at number 2. And Aiden finished first. All right. All right, kiddos, we are at the end of our class period. So just as a reminder, oops, did I go to the wrong one? Oh yeah, I went to history instead of government, right? There we go. All right, so Module 8 will be, the project closes on the 22nd. Module 8 Lesson 2 closes tomorrow. I sent you out those remind notices. Attendance assignment tomorrow, and our small group meet tomorrow morning, 10 to 11:30. MBLA, Rather SSG. Yes, you're getting a remind text. Yes, there will be an announcement. And we're done. We are done for the day, everyone. You too. Bye, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow if you need help. Have a great weekend.
Ms. Ryder, can I show you something really quick?
In a minute, please. I'm going to stop recording, okay?